Okay, in this lab, we're going to do a synthesis reaction of copper oxide, and we're going to do that from copper. So we'll begin with a crucible, which we'll get the mass of. So you're going to go ahead in the simulation and record the mass. Of the empty crucible. Then you're going to remove from the materials shelf. Here we've got it, the copper. This is a fine copper powder. And we're going to record the new mass of the crucible with the copper. I'm going to record that in your notes. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the gas. Throttle that down just a bit. And we're going to go ahead and get some observations. If the camera captures the color as it looks in real life, I would describe it as a reddish tinted color. And I've got it over the nice flame, capturing it from above here. And I see a reaction starting to occur there. Pretty cool, pretty hot actually. So go ahead and make notes as to your observations. I'll show you some before and after shots of what's going on here, but it's essentially undergoing a chemical reaction, and copper is forming copper oxide. Go ahead and give it a little stir up here. See some of the colors. As it oxidizes more thoroughly, definitely changes color. Okay, it looks like the reaction is done as the color is not changing. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the crucible, and I'm going to turn off my flame. Hopefully I didn't melt the camera. And what we would do now, wait for it to cool a little bit. And capture the new mass of the crucible plus the contents, which is going to be copper oxide. Now, I'm going to wait for this to cool just a little bit more. And I'm going to demonstrate color difference, if you can see it. This in my hand is copper, and what we've got is oxidized copper in the crucible. So you can tell that the copper was much more of a reddish color, and it's definitely a gray black for the copper oxide. So I'll go ahead and pour this right in here, see if we can see a contrast, and it might oxidize a little bit of that copper right before our eyes, and it is. Now, what you would do is, instead of adding the copper into it, you would want to take the mass of the copper oxide alone and record that. And that's going to be what you'll use to derive the empirical formula of the copper oxide. So you will have had the mass of the crucible plus copper. Then we went ahead and hit it with flame, and you'll get the mass of the crucible plus the copper oxide. From that, you can go ahead and work through the laboratory and derive that empirical formula.